Hey everyone, it is Edie Sellers, GameHounds. I'm sorry we are late. We got Goalie who is here, Nick who is not. I'm gonna blame Nick. Because the one time I trust Nick that he is going to wake up on time and I don't start pestering him at 9 o'clock in the morning, he overslept. So he's on his way here. We got Goalie. And we already got a comment in the chat room. Hey, Wraith. Not sorry, I just turned on Siri. So we're kind of waiting for Nick to show up to do the actual podcast. Maybe, I don't know. But we were just talking about what were we talking about? Oh, Grandpa's hidden chest.
Oh, you finally listened to it.
Yes, I've listened to the whole thing, and the minute that the episode 3 came out, I absolutely listened to it as soon as you told me. It's really good. They're short. They're like,
the first two were 10 minutes because I was kind of setting the podcast up, and I didn't want to I needed some backdrop, but I didn't want to go over 20 minutes, half hour setting it up. So
sure,
a couple of quick ones. Episode 3 was probably like the first real episode of what I was looking to do, as far as having the character listen to the tape and hear a story finally. So but it's kind of fun because it's just kind of taking a life of its own, where now the character has weird things happen to him as well, rather than just him listening to this tape. So he's now caught up in this web of intrigue himself. And it's making it fun now because I'm jumping from the main character to Grandpa back and forth.
Right.
And
oh, sorry, I didn't mean to show that. I'm looking up Grandpa's hidden chest, but no, I take it back. I'm looking up on. Does it on the web? Do you have a website?
Spreaker, yeah, grandpashiddenchest.com. Yep, it's on Spreaker.
All right, I am looking it up so you can see it.
Yeah, it just goes right to the.
There we go. Spreaker. That's what we're looking for right there. You need a logo. I'm gonna have to put a logo together for you.
Yeah. Yep. Like I said, this is something I started just for fun with no real direction to it. Something I always wanted to do, an audio drama, because I love old time radio, and I just kind of started this. And it started with going in one direction. Now it's taken off to another direction. Now I've added sound effects, which I wasn't going to do, but I did. I think that adds a little bit to it.
Oh, yeah, it definitely does.
And I don't want to do too many. I mean, I don't want to make it that every time I do something, you hear a sound effect and, I have to put music behind it, because that'd be a lot of work.
Yeah, the minimalistic one is definitely the way you want to go. And I liked that because it's more of a story being told to you as opposed to a radio play.
Yeah. Yep. So, but I first was just going to have the radio play, but I was like, something, incorporating some sounds gives it a little bit of flair. 32 pieces of flair, is what I try to do. So,
well, it doesn't give it just flair, it gives it depth. And if you have not listened to it, listen to Grandpa's Hidden Chest. Episode 3 just came out yesterday, entitled I Met Hitler, which is so good. If you like Lovecraft, if you like, I guess it's a little bit Lovecraftian, but if you like mysteries, it's super good. And Nick and I both have a
you have a part
cameo. We have a cameo.
You have a part in it. And what is really funny about is I know we talked a little bit about, but I had an idea what I wanted to do with the whole thing. And when Nick sent me, his part, it was pretty darn close to what I was going to do. There was a couple things I changed, a couple things I added, but just when you sent it in, I was like, wow, this is almost exactly what I had envisioned when he went in and saw Hitler. And there's some things I did a couple of takes and some things didn't work, so I took them out and I added a few things, but for the most part, that whole idea of what you sent was exactly what I was going for. Then the whole grenade thing, wrecking it, that was like, that's exactly what I
had. Don't spoil it.
No, it's
spoil it. Don't spoil it.
Okay.
I do have to say though, after listening to it, I think I'm a better writer than an actor.
Oh, I think you were great.
When I edited that part with you two on there, I was like, it just came. I took bits and pieces of the three or four attempts that we did, and they all just worked when I put them. When I finally assembled like somewhere before and after, whatever. But it's like, boy, that just worked. And just
I think my voice just doesn't sound like intimidating government official.
No, it totally did.
I just listened to me and I was like, who the fuck is this little kid? Who's this little bitch? Jeez. I could take him.
So we have Davis Andrade in the chat room. Hey, Racy Ray says Hitler and Lovecraft, racism's peanut butter and jelly. A little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's fun. And so, yeah, I mean, if you have any ideas, let me know, you guys, about where we can go next. I got a few, and I'll bounce them off you on the email there. But that's kind of what I was looking for the show. The first 2 episodes, as I was telling Easy, I was just kind of setting up the podcast. Episode 3 was where I wanted to be, going from the person in modern day and then listening to the tapes and just hearing a story play out. So that's kind of what going forward most will be. There'll obviously be some where it might just concentrate on the guy in modern day, but so he's just kind of falling into traps and just weird things are happening to him, and I just think that's kind of neat. So I want to do that. But
so Davis is saying, is Facebook the only way to watch live? No, we are live on Facebook. Obviously, you know that, but we are also live and on Facebook. It is the GameHounds. It's on our page, the GameHounds. On YouTube, it is GameHounds Vids, VIDS, because long story, couldn't get GameHounds. But yeah, GameHounds Vids on YouTube. And there it is for the YouTube link. So
today I really, really want to give it my all, if I can. Okay, I'm really gonna try to give it my all. In worst case, though, I will give a little extra. Sorry,
I'm trying to find something.
Sorry. You got to come prepared.
Knock it off or I'm going to clip your nuts off.
What were those?
Nut clips. You get those on Amazon?
Oh, binder clips. Ah, yeah.
You better check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Ooh. Did you guys happen to catch this on the show?
A little lighter? I might have, but I didn't think about it.
Did you catch that? Yeah.
Yeah, I did. You're talking about on Grandpa's Hidden Chest, one of the sound effects. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time he goes to tell a story, he lights up.
Yep.
I had to buy that too because I'm like, I don't want to use too many canned sound effects and get in trouble, so I'll buy my own Zippo lighter for $10. And
if you want, I mean, could always add the sound of a cigarette being lit. I mean, I don't have to light the cigarette to do it. I can always fully it together for you.
My problem is this is an actual lighter. When I do it, a microphone. When I hit it, I don't want to catch this on fire.
Yeah. So we have now in the chat room, the StreamYard chat room, the video stream. We got Davis, who has finally joined us in the YouTube chat. Good job. We got Bitters in the chat room. We got Barbara. Hey, Barbara. AC Wraith wants to know if we're going to do ASMR Foley videos now. I do not have an ASMR voice. I wish I did. And to be honest, I've been watching a lot of the ASMR, and it looks like it's pretty much hot girls wearing tank tops, and they clearly don't understand what ASMR is.
So I need to check this out.
Yes. Oh.
I'm on it. Sorry, I didn't quite get it.
This is what
Siri doesn't know what ASMR is.
Siri, stop. Just stop, Siri. Hey, Corey Wallace is in the Facebook chat. All right, so should we start the radio show, the actual GameHound show?
Let me get my coronavirus mask. So I don't want to catch anything from you guys. I'm actually so glad I'm not going to PAX East this year because that's this weekend. I'm like, I got a couple friends going.
We'll talk
Yeah.
in depth about what's going on in the gaming industry about the coronavirus, because it's talk about spreading. There's a panic spreading within the gaming industry, and we will talk about that in news.
All
I have
right,
a
so
lot
again,
of stories.
we're
about
gonna
that.
give it our all today.
Yeah.
We gotta give
Go
it
do
our
that.
all.
All right. Yeah. Starting the show now.
This podcast discusses video games, modern culture, and technology. And these podcasters are big fat potty mouths. If you're younger than 18 or are easily offended, please stop this podcast now. Oh, and your mom says to take out the trash and do your homework.
Okay, mics are hot. Hello and welcome to GameHounds. GameHounds episode 533. We are recording this on Wednesday, February 26th, 2020. So many 20s, so many twos. But it is the last show of February 2020. And with me is Gully, Holy Gully, Nick DiNicola. Hey, guys.
What's up?
Wow.
That's what we got today. Do I need to break out the demon voice? I'll break out the demon voice if I have to.
Do not break out the demon voice.
That actually made me feel old.
What?
Because I remember when that was like the hot, new, popular, funny thing.
Oh,
that commercial.
on the Super Bowl.
I remember
Bud Light.
Yeah, the Scary Movie, when Scary Movie came out, and they parodied that, and it was, ha, that's hilarious. And now it's just, oh yeah, it's that old commercial.
Yeah. So, how are you doing? Nick was late because he overslept. We're sorry about we're late because Nick overslept.
Oh, just blame it all on me.
Oh, we are totally blaming it on
just
you.
throw me under the bus.
Gully?
Yeah, I mean, he sucks.
Thank you.
You're not even throwing me under the bus. You're tying me down to the street and letting the bus
Absolutely.
roll over and then back up and then go forward again.
Oh, yeah. That's exactly what I'm doing because you overslept. And the one time I do it was like, he'd been so good for a few weeks. And I was like, I could tell that you hate getting the phone calls, the insistent phone calls at 9 a.m. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to stop giving him that.
What's funny is that at 9, my alarm, or an alarm went off. Well, first of all, I forgot about the show even last night because I didn't set any alarm before 9. Then this morning, when an alarm went off at 9, I just rolled over and was like, no, I want to sleep in some more, and turned it off.
Yeah.
So
anyway, want to remind you all first off that we are the GameHounds Podcast. You can find us streaming this live right now at Spreaker.com if you're not listening to us live at the moment. And if you are listening to us live at the moment on Spreaker or through our website, you can go to YouTube or Facebook and see us live right now doing this show. We are GameHounds Vids on Facebook, and on YouTube, we're GameHounds Vids. On Facebook, you can find us at the GameHounds page. That is our page, and we are broadcasting live from our page, and super happy to be doing so. So, what's new with you dudes?
Just got episode 3 of the Grandpa's Hidden Chest up. Both of you were on that episode, and
that's right. We were talking about that on the YouTube stream, but not on the Spreaker stream. Yeah, and, Grandpa's Hidden Chest is so good, Goalie. It really is. So it's grandpashiddenchest.com. It is awesome. You're up to your 3rd episode. Episode 3 is called I Met Hitler, which sounds kind of weird, but it's actually a really, really good episode. It's mystery. It's kind of like at least
Twilight
that episode.
Zone-y.
Yeah, a little bit Twilight Zone meets a little bit Lovecraft meets a little bit, mystery. It's episodes of what this guy is finding in his grandpa's hidden chest because apparently grandpa was not exactly who he thought Grandpa was.
Yeah.
And there's a big shoot, the dog's about to start howling. A fire engine just drove by. If the fire engine kicks off again, we're gonna get dogs howling.
Speaking of dogs,
it's
howling,
coming closer.
that's one
Dogs
of the
howling.
Not yet. Okay, I think we're good. Anyway, you were saying?
I was saying that that's one of the most difficult things about doing that podcast is the dogs barking. Is every time I try to set up to record, it's like, and it just wrecks everything. And it takes you out of the moment, it takes you out of the mood, and you got to restart again. It's even when I put them outside there barking, and I'm like, man, can they hear me on the microphone when I record? So that's been the biggest challenge, is finding quiet time to do that. But
Right.
Nick actually submitted part of the story in episode 3, and I don't know if we had talked about it or not, but somehow our stories were nearly exact as how we were going to do this. And Nick is a fantastic writer, by the way. And I try to incorporate as much as I could what he wrote into the story, but there's some things that didn't it kind of clashed with what I had going on, so I took a few things out. But you added I kept quite a bit of what you sent me.
Yeah, you did. I was surprised. Like when it switched over, I was like, oh shit, this is like word for word.
There were some things
Full up
that
cool.
I had in mind. I was like, I'm gonna stay with this because I like.
Yeah,
this.
yeah. Well, because you had a good opening, and then there was a second character or a fifth character.
A fifth character that I
there.
added,
And I was
that
like,
kind of
okay,
played
okay.
into the whole,
And
the Russian thing, and that was kind of
Yeah.
It's so, but yeah, so Nick did some really good writing, so I'm kind of hoping he'll do more on future episodes.
Yeah,
And,
I did have a couple episodes, so I'll have to type those out and send them to you.
Yeah, send them to me, and pimp your book again. That the article that you wrote for that book, or the story you wrote for that book, pimp that out, because I definitely going to go back and get that now, because that's probably a really good read. It really is. So.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
That's the book is Blood and Blasphemy. It's a collection of sort of religious themed horror stories, and I wrote one called Baptismal Scars.
Fantastic. Yeah. So I'm going to check that. I'm going to read that out there. But yeah. So Nick does some good stuff. I'm looking forward to more of his contributions to that little podcast I got going on. And yeah, and you guys will be back on at some point again. But that was a good back and forth you guys had there. We recorded it last week after we recorded the GameHounds. And here's that book that Nick's in.
It's funny. I'm glad you liked it. I listened to it and I was like, oh, Edie sounds really good. Oh, who's that little whiny bitch? Just, oh God, that's me. Oh, that's oh.
But that's how it is, because even it took me a long time myself to get used to. I don't want to say liking my own voice on the show, but accepting it is what I was.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know? It's really hard when you listen to yourself. It's like, oh man, but.
Yeah, I remember, what was it? Adam Driver, didn't he storm out of an interview because someone played a clip of Marriage Story, and he's like, I don't want to watch myself acting. I can't stand it. Nope, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
It's very different when you hear yourself on, especially in a serious stuff.
You sounded fine. You actually sounded
especially
like
when you try to act, because like I edited another podcast I was on before. And so I'd heard myself talk like about games and just talk normally, for hours upon hours upon hours. But hearing myself try to act and try to emote is like, oh God, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah. AC Wraith notes, he says 2/26/2020 goalie compliments Nick.
It just
This is a
I'm
red letter
going a
day.
little bit extra today. I really am. I'm going to go extra today. But yeah, no, we had a good time doing that, and just had you guys record that piece last week, and then so we'll have you guys fill in some more guest spots on there. I left your voice is the same. I didn't play with them with the pitch shifter at all. It just kind of worked. It really did. But I made it sound like, well, I don't want to give any more.
Yeah. Don't
just go listen to it, and you'll hear Edie and Nick, and you'll know exactly it's Edie and Nick. But it was a fun time.
So what you all been playing? I've been playing Sims. I added some packs to it. Because they're on sale. Sims has a 20-year of the 20th anniversary sale going on. packs are available 50% or less. I figured I got the game for free. I have played the shit out of it. I might as well buy some of the packs, especially if they're half off. And I bought some of the packs, and they're surprisingly good. I have never really been one of those people who goes out and gets all the stuff packs, because I just think that's ludicrous to spend real money on fake stuff to furnish your house. Because let's face it, your fucking sim doesn't fucking care if your house is furnished. It doesn't change your gameplay at all.
It's a skin.
Right, it's a skin. But I have added some of the we've got more sirens. But the packs I have gotten were feature packs, were expansions like dogs and cats, which I have yet to get my dog, but it's there. But you can own a veterinary clinic, which is completely superfluous to whether you are actually a veterinarian. You can actually open your own veterinary clinic and hire a veterinarian to run it.
Can you, if you open a vet clinic, can you just, like, when they bring an animal, just put them down immediately? That'd be, just have the stack of bodies out back.
I could try. I am a 1-star rating
Sorry,
right now.
but we had to put him down. He was getting his nails clipped.
Right. You can't. You can spay every animal that comes in. That's the thing. You can also do that. You can just walk them in and spay them.
Okay, I mean that's what you should do.
Right.
So,
every animal that comes in, I am going to neuter and spay just for you to do that today.
Can you put an animal in the pool and then remove the ladders?
I don't know. I haven't done that. I don't own an animal, so I will have to figure that out.
I'm gonna put Fluffy in the cage with the python.
No.
Look at they're playing.
There's no cages, and it's
He's hugging 'em.
very much easier to be a veterinarian. When you want to have a treatment, you have this very expensive machine that you walk them in, and you turn on the machine, and it scans them, tells you what's wrong, and treats them.
Oh, so it's like Star Trek
Oh yeah,
levels in
total Star
Sims.
Trek. Yeah. And it's great if you have tons of money, and I do, because my husband is a champion pro gamer, which doesn't pay a lot, but live streaming does. He makes so much money live streaming, like ludicrous amounts. As in, once you get over 1 million followers, which takes a while, you have to really work at it. But I can make $30,000 in an 8-hour sitting. Like, not my 8 hours, his 8 hours.
Yeah.
Because you just start streaming, and it's like $100 bills, like ka-ching, 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 ka-ching.
Is it actually dolls, or is it simoleons?
Simoleons.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I love simoleons.
But
They're the best Girl Scout cookies.
no, they're not. Thin mints are the bomb, dude. Thin mints.
Mm-hmm.
Anything with peanut butter.
Yeah, Barbara is shocked. They got compliments to Nick from Gully. So looks like you just derailed the podcast when you did that.
I did. It's over. It's our last episode.
Thank you very much for listening. But yeah, I also bought the Magic expansion pack, which I have enjoyed. You have to go to a special realm to learn Magic, and then once you do, you can practice it anywhere. It helps if you actually talk to people in the Magic realm, but you can duel people there, which gets your Magic higher. It's very, very easy to level that. And you can use Magic outside of it. So I just stand out in front of my street and light people on fire as they walk by. Because why not?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You sound like a supervillain.
No, not yet. I'm an astronaut. Well, I used to be a top comedian, and now I'm an astronaut. I'm about to.
And
well,
you set people on fire
funny.
as they walk by.
yeah. Yep. Who sets people on fire by magic as they walk by.
That
Were
is
you talking about?
absolutely the backstory of a supervillain.
Absolutely. And no, my son is a secret agent diamond thief. Well, diamond dealer, a diamond dealer.
No,
He's a
is this
secret
the
agent
game that
diamond
you had?
dealer.
You had the restaurant up on the moon, or the city on the moon? Is this the game that has that you talked? Was that you talking about that last week? So if you're an astronaut, did you go to the moon? I thought we were talking about something, some kind of a civilization on the moon or Mars or something, and I thought maybe if you were an astronaut, that's how you got there. No, am I
No.
confused with episode 457
You
or
must be, 'cause
222?
you do
or-
have a rocket ship. I have a rocket ship that I built in my backyard that I can go on space missions, but you don't actually go
naturally.
to the moon. I can also do a 0G workout, which apparently is pretty good. It's great. If you want to level up your physical and turn into a rock hard bod, you just go build a rocket ship in your backyard and go on a 0G workout.
Wait, why does 0G workout effective? Like without the gravity pulling you down, there's no like tension.
I
On the
don't
How does that work?
I don't know.
I don't believe the science behind The Sims. I think
I don't think there
they're
is any science
skipping
behind
things.
The Sims. Dude,
I think they're making it up.
I light people on fire as they walk by magic. I don't think there's a lot of science in this. But yeah, having a good time with that. And thank you very much, AC Wraith, for the link to Thin Mints, the best cookie. Oh God, I could literally eat a box of those right now.
I've got some of those because they're out in front of Safeway now. So
Is it Girl Scout cookie season?
yeah,
It is?
I've seen them around a bunch of stores.
Are you sure it's real? It's like this year's Girl Scout cookies, or is it like a Girl Scout that didn't sell all her cookies and now she's selling them?
I
at the
mean, I
table?
saw.
Settling out all the fixes for everybody. You know, you
I've-
could be a dealer throughout the year. Just buy a bunch of them, hold on to them for a few
Yeah.
months, and then slip them to people under the table at
I mean,
a
I've seen
a reasonable markup.
I've seen a group of girls in front of the grocery store for like several weeks. Like as I go there, they're always there, and then I saw them in front of a bookstore too. So
Okay. So it is
Yeah.
that time.
Mhm.
All right. So if anybody listening has a daughter in Girl Scouts, because you can now do these Girl Scout
me
cookies.
up.
Right. You hook me up. I mean, if the Girl Scouts of America is actually very web savvy, and you can actually order online and give credit to specific Girl Scouts. But you have to know their names and go to their page and essentially be a direct connection to them, because otherwise they don't want, people just randomly looking up Girl Scouts on the web. So if somebody has a daughter in Girl Scouts and is selling cookies, please contact me. You can send me an email at esellers@gamehounds.net. I will absolutely buy Girl Scout cookies from you. And I'll buy a lot of them because I've got no fucking shame. I have been really good for the last 2 Girl Scout cookie seasons. This one, I'm going all in. I've earned it. So, anything else you guys have been played? Anything you guys have played? I mean, I've talked about Sims 4. I've got to get off Sims 4. I promise I will play Death Stranding next week.
I'm waiting for that to go on sale. Then I will get that.
I
will
did get it
that
on
thing.
sale. It was on sale.
Yeah, but I'm talking like the Nick sale.
The deeper sale.
You
You want
want it-
$20.
You want it $5? Okay. All right.
I mean, if it's 20, I'll get it for 20 because that's when I picked up Horizon Zero Dawn, and that was phenomenal for $20. Yeah, I'd even pay more than that. That was a phenomenal game. It really was. And I didn't think I'd like Horizon Zero Dawn, but just when I played it, oh yeah, it was good. And just the whole, going back into the past and seeing that shit, that was great. I've been playing a little more of the Call of Cthulhu on the Xbox because that had the Super Nick discount of free. When you picked it up on Xbox. I got stuck though. It's one of those games where the door is closed, and that's the door you need to go through to get to the next part. But I haven't done something that gets that door to open. And so I'm on chapter 3 in the manor trying to find out what caused the fire. And I'm going through this whole manor, and I couldn't get that door to open. I missed something, and I go to bed. And I come back, I turn it on, and I got to do chapter 3 all over again. So I go through, and blah, 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 this and that, and I get to the door, and I can't get it to open. And late last night, I went to bed again. I get up today, and it doesn't save. It wasn't saving. I had to do the whole chapter over again. Now, it's only 5 or 10 minutes. So I actually went online and said, okay, what am I missing? There's got to be something I'm missing because this door won't open. And so it showed me what I needed to do. And I was like, okay, I just went over and found it, and yes, the door finally opened today, and it's saved. I was like, okay, good. So I was getting like real close. I was like, okay, I like this game, but if I gotta do this thing over one more time and I can't figure out how to get this door to open, then I'm going on to the next game because this.
Do you know what you eventually did to open it?
Yeah, well, I went on to YouTube and I saw a walkthrough, and
Okay.
it was one thing. But you know what was really weird? In this game, there's all these rooms and they're connected. Some are connected. And the very first playthrough I did, I picked the lock and I got the door to open so I could freely go between the rooms. And when I went back in on my second and third play, the guy couldn't pick the lock. I was like, why can't you pick the lock, dude? So I can't get this door to open. I can still get into the room separately, but they connect and I can't get the connecting door to open. I don't know if I need to do that, but I got it to open the first time and now I can't. And this is like really, it's like, what did I do differently here? What's going on? So, but it's I'm still enjoying it. It feels like a point and click game more than anything else. And I finally got the door to open, and now I'm walking around and checking out the place. And yeah, it's a fun little walking simulator adventure game. So that's all I've been really playing.
Cool. Keeping on the Lovecraft theme.
Of course, now that I finally get Call of Cthulhu on the thing, then of course.
Yeah, no, it's a walking simulator game, and you talk to people. There's dialogue trees like you had there. Oh, this is the guy I talked to. Yep, this is part 1. So he's the captain on the island of the ship or whatever, and yeah, you just talking. There's a lot of dialogue in the game, and I'm a little further than this, and I had to go into the mansion to find the fire and the whole bit. But yeah, you just you have a little tree that you can upgrade of your character, and that sometimes helps with dialogue. Sometimes it helps with different things. So maybe I did something wrong when I couldn't pick the lock the second time. I don't really know, but it's a chill game. It's a really just slow-paced, chill-out game. So far, I haven't had to fight. I haven't died. It's just a walking sim on this island. It's a very gloomy place, too. It really is. It's set in 1928 or something like that. And but it's about the girl that painted all these weird paintings, and you know her family died in a fire, and they're finding you're going through the house finding like all these weird things. And yeah, that's what it looks like when you walk around. It's very gloom and doom. Yep,
Right.
and you find these little clues on the ground. So okay, I haven't got there yet, but now I know that there's a lever there. So
Sorry to wreck it for you.
so I have no idea where that is. But you see how it's green? You have white and green. White is kind of normal stuff, and green's kind of hidden. So you got to find it. But there was a green thing that I didn't find, and when I finally found it, the door opened. But yeah, you walk around with this lighter, and you just click on things like this, and that's all you do. But it's it's not really puzzly. It's just a fun chill out game, and you read about things, and it's a whaling town. Because it's on the water, so whaling is a big thing, and yeah, it's fun. It's fine. It really is. I mean, I would I know I got it for free, but I would have paid $20 for this, maybe even $30 for this game because I'm enjoying it.
Cool. I'll have to pick that up. I've seen that on sale during various points, and I've thought about it, but just never pulled the trigger. But I'll have to do it next time.
If you have Xbox Gold, whatever it is, I don't know if you still do. It's free now.
I don't.
Oh, is it
unfortunately.
really? Okay,
Yeah.
I might have to get on there to do
And
that
hurry up and grab those, yeah.
because they're about to switch. Because
Yeah, it's
March
going
is
so
coming.
much. Yeah, so get that now. Get your BioShock for PS4. Those are free right now.
right. So I'm trying to get my own headset louder in my ears. All right. So
Okay. Well, I played a couple things. Now that I am free of the Death Stranding, I was able to play the things that I've been just building up over the course of weeks and months. One of them is Conarium, which is a game we saw at PAX a long time ago. It is exactly it's a very similar game to what Gola was talking about with Call of Cthulhu. It's a walking simulator, and it's just you walking through this Arctic base. It's kind of based off of the At the Mountains of Madness story, because you begin in this Arctic research center, and you wake up all alone. And so obviously you spend a little bit of the beginning walking around trying to figure out where everybody went and what's going on, because you don't really remember anything. But what I think is interesting about it is it's inspired by At the Mountains of Madness, but it's not that story. It like takes place in the same setting, but then kind of shifts locations to like another ancient city and kind of starts telling its own parallel story that actually links back into the larger Lovecraft mythos of dreams and dream worlds. So it's kind of an interesting mix of At the Mountains of Madness with the larger dreamy Lovecraft mythos. But the way it plays is just a very straightforward, first-person walker game. You just go around the environment, looking at objects, finding locked doors, explore some more, you find a key. And the whole thing has a very good atmosphere of just unease. Like there's nothing about it that's really scary, and it doesn't do any jump scares, but it just feels really eerie and kind of really surreal all the way throughout. And I really just dug that atmosphere. Just playing it late at night, turning off all the lights, and just immersing myself in that atmosphere is a really good couple hours. I'd say about 4 or 5 hours total.
I gotta
Um,
say that I love the Arctic environment for a story. I've read a
yeah.
handful of books about Arctic things going on in the Arctic. Where there was one I read about a World War II plane that they found in the Arctic. So you had like the U.S. and the Russians and some other group all rushing to get to that plane first to see what's on it. And there was another one I saw that they people were trying to escape the Arctic because of a monster or a killer. It's such a cool environment because you're away, you're isolated in the Arctic, and you can't just run outside either. So it presents all these elements that make you feel very vulnerable, very confined, and it's always a good story in the Arctic.
Have you seen season 1 of The Terror?
No.
That was based on this book, the first season, but it's a standalone season about this old, 18th century sailing ships looking for the Northwest Passage and getting caught in the ice and stranded up north when all the ice freezes over, and then they're kind of stalked by this supernatural bear-like creature. And so it's them dealing with all the shit you got to deal with when you're stranded in the ice and like your food is dwindling and everyone's getting pissed with this like weird supernatural bear thing. It's real good. The Terror is good. But then
Completely unrelated, there is a show that you all should watch on Netflix right now called Daybreak that is so fucking
It
good.
doesn't look. I watched a trailer for that and I thought it just looked like it was trying too hard.
It's Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's a millennial Ferris Bueller's Day Off, but in the zombie apocalypse. And it's awesome. It's awesome.
Ugh.
So good.
Ugh.
Oh yeah, AC Wraith. You're right. Yep, Konami.
I gotta write that down.
If you're talking about TV shows, you should check out Hunters on Amazon Prime.
Oh, okay.
It's real intense. It's one of those turn of the screw shows where everything just starts getting worse and worse by bits, and you're like, oh fuck, everyone's gonna die at the end of this, aren't they? It's not gonna turn out well.
I
Jesus.
hate games like that.
No, that's a show.
No, I mean I hate shows like that. It's so hard to watch.
I know. You watch it like I'm just waiting for everything to go wrong. Very good. Hunters is good. But in terms of games, in addition to Conarium, I played another kind of walking simulator called Observation.
Mm-hmm.
And Observation is this sci-fi game, and you play as the AI aboard this space station. So the way you play the game is you kind of hop from camera to camera on the station, and then you zoom in to various computers and kind of turn it on from afar and access that. And through that, you can read logs. Through that, you can turn on different aspects of the station, because a lot like Conarium, Observation begins with your character waking up after something has happened. and you, has the computer, have been really damaged, so your memory is damaged, and so you don't know what's going on either. And so the two of you kind of work together to bring the station online. And it has like a fucking perfect opening. Like the beginning is great, just it's very eerie, very spooky. And then the intro ends with this hook, this mystery hook that's sort of going to fuel the rest of it. And then it goes into an opening credits, which is really cool. Like I wasn't expecting it to have the opening credits, but it works. And the opening credits are very spooky, very creepy, but also very intense. And then when it launches you back into the story, it's just like, oh fuck, this, I want to see where this is going. Like it's such a good hook of a mystery. And the way the story is paced, it feels a lot like there are chapter breaks, because you'll build up, explore the station a little bit, and then learn something new about what's going on, and then the camera will like cut to black and wait for a few seconds, and then it will pick up again and start going forward. And so it feels like when they were writing it, they very much wrote it with this idea of chapter breaks in mind. But at the same time, it's a fairly short game. I played it all in one sitting. And while I like the story and I like where it goes, the game eventually, it just starts doing everything in its power to make me not want to play it. It's
Really?
just kind
how
of a
so? How
fucking
so?
pain in the ass. So
Is it
if
the
it was,
game or the gameplay?
it's a little bit of both. So this aspect of it that you see in the video of you jumping from camera to camera, it panning and zooming around is okay. The camera pans a little slow and it gets a little irritating, but it's fine. The problem is a lot of the puzzles that it asks you to do, it doesn't do a good job of telling you where to go and what to do. So like at a certain point, the lady's in there doing a thing on a computer, and she says like, Sam, which is the name of the AI, Sam, go look up the network hub, you know? And so I'm like, okay, wait a minute, where's the network hub? And so I start going through my UI going, okay, there's the coolant, there's this hub, but that's not the network hub. There's nothing that says network. What the fuck is a network hub? Where do I have to go to do the network hub? And it's like, well, okay, I know I have to go to the coolant room. And so I go to the coolant room and start doing stuff there. But I'm like, this isn't the net. Why the fuck did you say network hub? And eventually I went up and looked online to see what I was supposed to do. And I ended up doing a bunch of that, of like playing with a walkthrough on YouTube next to me, just so that when I got to a point where I was like, I don't know what I have to do next, and I don't know what you're asking me to do. Oh no, even worse. It's not that I didn't know what to do. It's that I didn't know where to go to do it. So like, I know, okay, I can just, my actions in the world are very limited. I just zoom into a thing and access it. Like that's what I do in the game. But I'm like, I don't know what, I've searched this entire station and I've looked into every access point I can, and I don't know what you're asking me to do. What the fuck do I want to do? And it's so frustrating. But then at a certain point, you get access to a sphere, a little like hover sphere that can actually go through the world. And so you're no longer limited to just being in the cameras. The problem is the environment, because it's a space station. You can kind of see this in the video. There is no such thing as a wall or a floor or a ceiling. Every wall is a floor. Every wall is a ceiling. Every wall is a wall because it's zero gravity. So, you know, stuff is pinned to the floor as if it was a wall because it is a wall, because it's zero gravity. So you're spinning. So your sense of direction and your sense of position is very, very confusing. And trying to fly through this station, it's kind of a pain in the ass, because every time I enter a room, I'm like, okay, I know I'm in, you know, EAS 3. I know I'm connected to EAS 4 and EAS 2 on either side. where are those sides? And so I look up and down, left to right, forward, back. I'm like, okay, I see a door there, up, down. I see a door there. I guess that's locked. And then I see a door there. Okay, so every room I'm reorienting myself, trying to figure out like what's up, down, left, and right. In the beginning, that's fine because you have plenty of time to go through the world. As the story progresses and the stakes get more and more dramatic and things go more and more wrong, I lose access to the cameras and I have to navigate with only the sphere. And at that point, the sphere gets damaged and starts like static starts coming up and starts getting in the way. And the lights go off across most of the station. So not only was it a pain in the ass navigating through it when everything was lit brightly, but now I'm trying to do it when it's not lit well and with my little guy going on the fritz. And then like
sometimes your little guy doesn't work in the dark. Sometimes you need to see what's happening for that little guy to actually work. I get it. I hear where you're coming from.
But it gets even worse because at the end, like your little guy gets fucked up.
It sometimes happens. It does. I mean,
then the lights
especially when you're going around corners. You know?
The little guy gets fucked up, and it gets even more dark, and like parts of the station get blocked off from you. And so I'm like,
yep. I've been there.
Know.
This
can't go
part
there.
of the
I've got to find a
you
vent.
can't enter this part of the station. I've heard that more than once.
Not without permission, at least.
Oh, you can never enter the station without explicit permission.
Oh, yeah. I always need the key.
And that permission can be revoked at any time.
Need to find the right key.
You just have to keep asking and making sure it's okay to be there.
I've got to hack the right coolant network node.
I guess that's one say. Or you could just ask nicely of the coolant node, and if the coolant node wants you to be there, then that's fine. The coolant node has every right.
I have to read the schematic and input the right unlock code
over and over.
Yeah.
If you're at all not sure, then ask.
Those coolant nodes are a real pain in the ass.
So to speak.
Yes.
But
remember,
okay.
Node means node.
Oh Jesus!
Hey, I made a goalie.
That's
nice
goalie
job.
level
Yeah,
fun.
right there.
Wow.
Woo!
All right, but anyway, moving right along.
Yeah, observation. It's a neat story. It's a good mystery, and the way they keep escalating things is good. The ending is eventually like one of those good sci-fi. It's like I don't want to spoil too much, but it's kind of a 2001-ish ending where it sort of gets into the abstract, but not as abstract as 2001, which personally I just think is real fucking bullshit, and I kind of hate that movie. But it does that type of ending well, which I think is good, and I like the mystery and I like the progression of the story throughout it. It's just at a certain point at the end, when I was like in hour 5 of this 6-hour playthrough, I was just like, oh fuck, I don't want to have to go through the bullshit of these puzzles again. I just want to go on. And God, there's a part of the end where I'm trying to find my way through the station. I'm just like, I don't fucking know where I am. Where am I? And I'm like in the little nodes of the space station, looking at every wall for a sign, just being like, am I in EAS 2 or EAS 3? Where the fuck am I? Just give me like a sign that says what place I'm at, so I have some sort of like grounding, some sort of map, and it doesn't do that. And I'm just like, motherfucker, I've gone back and forth through this little hallway 20 times looking for a door. So yeah, neat game that I kind of hated playing.
Sorry. All right. So, any other games you want to talk about? Oh, that's goalie. Anything? Or you've been too busy on making grandpas?
Yeah, mostly that. Just the Call of Cthulhu.
Oh, that's right. You talked about I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's about. I've been updating games. I went into my PlayStation and
That's
Yeah.
a game
it-
itself.
I saw Grid had an update, so I downloaded an update for that and a couple other ones there. I downloaded BioShock for Mrs. Goalie because she wants to play that again. But I'm getting ready to play games. But I did play some Call of Cthulhu. But yeah,
Right.
I want to
So-
waste that Death Stranding. If you guys hear that going on like a ridiculous sale, like $20 or less, I'll grab that and I'll walk
Alright.
around and play that.
I've actually been listening to the soundtrack of that. I like the soundtrack to that game. It's got a real good score to it.
Well, since we can talk about Kojima and everybody else, let's hit the news.
Mm.
This is the GameHounds News, the news, news, and commentary of the week in gaming with Gamer Rudy, Holy Goalie, and Nick DiNicola. And our first item is fucking coronavirus.
This is no. I've been telling you guys a
Holy.
week. This is no joke. It is out of control, and CDC's now putting out warnings. This is Did she get the virus?
What? She got a virus.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, that was.
She'll never look better.
Oh yeah, this is how it always should have been.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I hit the wrong tab. I'm glad it was still going. Thank God. Yeah, I
looked
meant
at my phone and I see the same Nick 4 question marks 20 times in a row.
yes. You just that's how I tried to wake you up. I tried to make an alarm to wake you up. Apparently, it
I
doesn't work.
appreciate the effort.
I really want to have a long distance shot caller on you that I will only use on Wednesdays at 9:30 a.m. and that's when I shock the shit out of you. So anyway, we were talking about coronavirus. Holy crap, coronavirus is making an effort. It is, I mean, making a big deal. It is no freaking joke.
Yeah.
And it is now
So everyone trying to avoid it. Like it kind of is like plaguing. Well, like the funny thing about the coronavirus is like it's not a deadly disease, right? It's not like Ebola. There's not
No.
real barrels full of bodies in the streets.
No,
of
no,
China.
no. There's still like 2,900 people have died total.
Yeah, like
it's just that
in terms
you
of the
can catch it
lethality-
without being you can spread it without being
Yeah, like
symptomatic.
I think about this purely in terms of Plague Inc. And I'm like, oh, you got a real good, vectors for spreading, but your lethality is low. So you're not going to kill the human race, but you might infect it all.
Right.
Yeah.
For the moment. And that's
Mm-hmm.
the thing is that it's always a percentage of people that are going to
Yeah.
die. But
But in terms of production, everyone doesn't want to get it, and everyone is like shutting down everything to prevent people from getting it.
right. And that includes cancellations.
Mm.
In the last, I would say 48 hours, there have been a massive amount of cancellations. And I, in my panic to get back to my screen, I canceled out all
Did
of
you
my-
hit the wrong tab?
Oh, Jesus.
Did you hit the wrong tab? 1 calorie tab.
Oh my God. So let's see.
What
Okay.
has less calories in tab? Here it is. Water.
Oh.
That was the commercial back then.
Yep, it was.
I've got the thing for Kojima Productions.
Okay, yeah.
Kojima Productions is canceling their participation in GDC, which I don't know when it happens, but I think it will happen next month. It and PAX East happen very, very close together.
Yeah. GDC is next month. But the it's not just Kojima, it is Sony. Has pulled
Yeah,
out
Sony
of
pulled out
PAX
of PAX East
which
a
we
couple
reported about
weeks
last
ago.
week. Yeah, we reported about that last week. And Sony's mayor, Boston's mayor, last week pleaded with Sony not to cancel its PAX East plans. I mean, when the mayor actually steps in to say, please come to PAX East, but after that happened, I think I think he gave up because shortly after that, well, who else was it? PUBG Corp has pulled out. Kojima Productions has also pulled out of PAX East.
EA has said, and
EA?
this is actually from a LinkedIn like post. I don't know if EA has put out a press release of it, but the LinkedIn things from this Alex Shear, who's a product development specialist, he said that EA will be limiting their presence at GDC and canceling their participation in the official GDC events. And even
Yes.
that, on top of that, EA is advising employees not to travel to San Francisco.
Yeah.
So not only are they pulling out of the event, but they're also saying, please just don't go at all.
Yeah, that's what they're saying. They just don't want anyone to go there.
Mhm.
Um,
And yeah, the Cyberpunk also pulled out of PAX East.
Oh,
really?
yes, Cyberpunk 2077.
CD
pulled out
Projekt
of PAX.
Red.
Yeah, CD Projekt Red, and yeah, all GDC and PAX are going to be missing major players, and some of them being CD Projekt Red was kind of important because that game was delayed, and I don't say everybody's a little bit concerned, but there's not a lack of concern in the gaming world that this game is
Well, I think
everything
it's
that we
like
hope it's going to be.
I think this would have been the only chance to play it before it comes out because I
Right.
don't think it's. I think PAX West. I think it'll be out before then. Yeah, because it comes out in like
no.
April.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
it's this is right on the cusp of it coming out. Facebook has also said it's not going to be at GDC.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's a big deal. So that's and then there's also, of course, there's growing concern about China's inability to their manufacturing factories inability to open them up or have any meaningful production, and how that is going to affect not only the world economy for everything because everything's made in China, but specifically now we're starting to get concerns about consoles. Nobody has officially said anything, but there's concerns going around that I have heard, like, nothing confirmed. Nobody, Sony hasn't said there's a problem, but watchers of the industry, and not just the gaming industry, but like money managers are starting to say, hey, this can't not be affecting the release of the new consoles. So we have. I'm still waiting for that shoe to officially drop, even though we
Yeah,
all know it's dropped.
Because like last week when there was that Bloomberg story about PS5 productions, and they said that the real limiting factor is memory. That Sony specifically said the coronavirus is not impacting their production. It'll be interesting to see if that changes going forward, or if that was
Yeah.
sort of papering over the truth.
Yeah, I think that they're talking about at that moment, but the closer
Oh,
that
yes,
they
yeah.
get to manufacture, and because they're going to have to start ramping up manufacturing in a fairly short period of time, and like I think it was Hong Kong has officially said that they are not opening their schools until April, so they're shutting everything down for 2 months in Hong Kong. And China's cases are now going down from what I've heard. But
you don't believe everything you hear. It is really bad. It is really bad. And again, it's not like 90% of the people are dying when they get this, but it is being spread like wildfire. Italy now is in a lot of problems.
Iran's health minister has coronavirus.
Huh.
When the health minister of a major country comes down with coronavirus, it shows you how virulent this is.
It reminds me of the time during the Gulf War when you had the Iraqi minister of propaganda who was just like, no, the Americans aren't in Iraq. And like the tanks are coming in behind him while they're filming them. The Americans aren't here.
The real like sign that there was a problem is when I think it was Italy, like someone got infected who hadn't traveled to China, and it was like, okay, it's clear there's an invisible path that's took that we don't even know about.
Right. So
and that was sort of the big red flag of like,
oh shit, and they are already saying the P word, pandemic, and it's the CDC. I mean, all you have to do is look at the stock market and see that there is a world concern about it. By the way, buy Clorox. Clorox is going up.
You gotta give it your all.
It's true. It's true. Clorox shares have actually skyrocketed in the last couple of days as the rest of the world, the stock market is tanking. Clorox is going up.
I will say my company's actually doing fine.
Good to know.
Yeah.
So in other news, Nick, do you have something? Most of the news that I saved for myself was like the daily updates of who's dropping out of GDC, who's dropping out of PAX. PAX is going to be, I think, I'm kind of sorry we're not going to PAX this year. 'Cause I think if you went to PAX, you'd be fine. It's a bit of a red herring, especially with so many of these Asian companies not coming over.
Well, the problem is that there's already cases in Boston of this.
There are cases in
that's-
Boston. You just have to be super careful. But most importantly, this is actually going to be a really nice PAX. I'm sure there's a lot of cancellations of people. If you would ever want to go to a PAX, this is it, because you can actually get a room and a ticket.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're going to be missing out on a lot of things, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, if some of the biggies are pulling out, yeah, there's more floor space, more space to walk, hotel rooms, but there's less there.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm kind of hoping by this year, next time, this whole thing is blown over and it's all set. Either that or we'll be in an apocalypse of some kind. I don't know.
Yeah. So you have anything, Nick?
Yeah, I got a couple just good small ones, and then there's so I don't know besides, but okay. Resident Evil 3 demo is coming. The Resident Evil Twitter account just announced that the demo is coming and more details will follow. And it just reminded me that I liked game demos. Those were good when back in the day when we had those for most games.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when we could play a game, experiment with it, and see, I don't want to do this. I like demos, so I'm glad they're putting out a demo of it because more games should have demos.
Right.
The sad things.
Do we know when it's going to come out?
The game itself?
No, the demo. Is it out already?
No. Well, we don't know much about the demo. They just said it's on its way. I assume it's soon because the game itself is also fairly soon. In addition to that, more announcements on Twitter. CD Projekt Red might be pulling out of PAX, but they have announced that if you buy Cyberpunk for Xbox One, you'll receive the Xbox Series X upgrade for free. So because Cyberpunk comes out in April, so if you buy it then, and then you buy an Xbox Series X, you will not have to re-buy the upgraded version of Cyberpunk. You won't have to buy, the HD remake equivalent.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah. So if you buy it for the original the current Xbox, they're going to give you a free copy. Or if you buy it for if you buy an original Xbox or the Xbox current generation Xbox, when the new Xbox comes out, they will give you a free copy for the new Xbox, an upgraded copy. Even though technically it should be backwards compatible.
Yeah, which is interesting because they said that the Series X should be able to play One games just like naturally. Like it should just be backwards compatible. And so it sounds like this is an actual update. So they will add something like graphical features and things like that. So it is a genuine updated version. You just want to pay for it, which is nice.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then speaking of Xbox and upgraded version,
you're gonna shoot your load all right now.
Yeah. Well, because I don't know if this is like a big news story or not. So Microsoft put out an article on Xbox.com called "What You Can Expect from the Next Generation of Gaming," and it's a lot of tech stuff. And so a lot of me personally, I was reading through it going like, okay, 12 teraflops.
Yeah, that's one of my things. Is that 12 teraflops is no fucking joke. That's huge.
I don't know. I'm going through. It's like okay, and at the end, I was like
4 times as much processing power as the current generation.
Okay, that's impressive.
Yeah.
I don't personally. I don't feel like these sort of raw numbers really tell you shit about a console. Because
So here's to put it
PlayStation-
in perspective. The next Xbox is going to quadruple the Xbox One CPU performance.
but like,
and
what does that mean?
octuple its GPU performance.
But like, what does that actually mean for how games look? Like, there's no way for me to translate that increased processing power into what it looks like visually or in terms of like effects. Like,
120 frames per second easily.
I honestly don't believe that.
If you octuple the GPU and quadruple the CPU, yeah, you can get 120 GPU frames per second without even thinking about it. I mean, this is huge. This is incredibly powerful.
So one of the things that they did mention here that does make sense. Oh shit! Hi.
Yeah, there's your cat. I was going to say he's in the background.
Yep. One of the things that did make sense is that they said there is DirectX ray
Is that a wedding dress?
No, it's his diaper.
Yeah.
Is that the maid?
Yes. No, he doesn't.
Say.
This maid doesn't clean. This maid just pees on things
That
and falls.
that's not necessarily a bad thing, Nick.
No, yeah,
Sometimes
usually-
maids,
some people you have to pay extra for that.
some
Yeah.
maids charge extra for that.
But one of the things this article mentions that is like, I can directly relate that to the experience is they say there's going to be hardware accelerated ray tracing, which basically means just I've seen ray tracing examples in videos and the lighting just looks really, really good. Like it generally looks a lot better than what we have now. And so knowing that this hardware supports that is a plus. The one feature, the one thing that I got out of this whole detailed technical article that I was like, that's really cool. That's the kind of stuff I want to know. The actual second-to-second experience of using this console. What is that going to be like? They say it will support a quick resume feature for multiple games.
You can run multiple games, so you can literally flop around. You don't have to quit out of one to go to the next
Yeah.
one.
So that I can put multiple things in suspend mode and hop between them, and that seems really, really cool.
Yeah, I
That's
like
the
that.
kind of stuff I want to know about is the actual features of the software. I don't want to know about hardware. I don't really care about hardware.
I don't care about flops or flips or
Yeah.
flaps. Flaps
So-
maybe, but no. But yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, you stuff like that you want to know. It's like, okay, you can pause this game, go back into this game, go back into this game, and be right where you left off. That's good to know.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I'm curious. They are putting out more and more information. I'm curious to see what Sony announces in response, if anything. But yeah, overall, these consoles look like they will be cool.
Yeah. That article when they released the
Okay.
specs about it, that was the first time that made me go, ooh, I
Yeah.
may want this.
I mean,
might
I know-
actually have to get an X. I'm curious to know what PlayStation 5 is going to have because these are things that very, very tempting.
Yeah,
Unlike the always on and the can't share games and
Yeah.
the Viva la Revolution Connect, these are the things that I'm hearing going, oh, this
Phil
actually
Spencer
sounds.
turn things around.
We won that revolution, by the way.
You did. You did.
We are undefeated.
And
in
you
our
were
revolution.
you were the kind of the bannerman on that one. You for the minute that they announced it, you were. I mean,
I
back
l-
for the 360, you were like, "Fuck this! I don't want to do this."
I led the charge, and our GameHounds faithful followed me into battle, and it took quite some time, but we finally buried that
Yay,
sucker.
GameHounds! We absolutely should take credit for killing the Kinect.
We did. We killed it. I mean, others might have joined in our fight, but we were the ones. you
That's
know?
right. We were the first ones. You were the Rosa Parks of the Kinect. You were the one that sat down and said, "Nope, don't like it a bit." No,
I sat down in front of my Kinect off camera. That's
Yep.
what I did in my protest.
You refuse to stand and play. I
Yep.
sit and play.
You sit and pee too. What's the difference?
Hey, you say that like it's a bad thing. Don't knock it till you tried it.
I try, but it's just so weird.
It's awesome. So, let's see what other things. Oh, other news. Oh no, I got some. You
Okay,
don't
okay. I have
bogart
one
all
that
the
you
news.
because I have one that you don't have. I guarantee you don't have this.
All right, all right, all right. Well, then
but-
hold off. I will give mine, and then
Okay.
you can surprise me.
Go on.
So, remember we were talking about NVIDIA's GeForce Now,
Mm-hmm.
their new streaming service that actually sounded really good when you mount it up against Stadia and which is Google's product, and Microsoft's whatever the fuck their project is. It's badly named because I can never remember it.
xCloud.
xCloud, that's it. Yeah, Project xCloud. Those are fine. GeForce seemed to be way more user forward as opposed to, hey, just look at all this stuff
Yeah.
that we or say we're gonna have and then don't
Like
have.
Stadia is a wet fart, and xCloud is like not even out yet. It's still just hidden behind beta walls and testing.
Right, and GeForce, NVIDIA did beta tested GeForce for 7 years before they released it out into the wild, and that was like a month ago, less than a month ago. So it's good, and apparently people like it, but it's got some problems. The problems being they didn't exactly clear with some game manufacturers about whether it was okay to go from beta to full release. It looks like Bethesda Game Studios has pulled Fallout and Elder Scrolls, and id has pulled out Doom from GeForce, GeForce Now, because they didn't actually get licenses. NVIDIA didn't actually get licenses from them, or at least express permission to release these games as streaming for beyond anything but their closed beta. NVIDIA says Wolfenstein Youngblood is going to stay, even though it's a Bethesda game. It's still staying on the service, but they didn't say why that game versus any of the other ones. It's already lost all of its Activision and Blizzard titles due to a licensing dispute. So yeah, they never got permission to charge people $5 a month to play these games, which is where the difference is between the closed beta, which was free for closed beta testers, and now they're charging people for it. And all of these developers are going, we never said it was okay to charge to use these. That violates your licensing with us. We're going to pull all of our games from your service until we can renegotiate something that actually pays us money for streaming these games.
Which is unfortunate. I feel like this could be like the beginning of a snowball of just greedy publishers trying to money grab and milk things as much as they can, because like $5 a month is not a lot, and the GeForce Now is not a storefront. All it is like the games that you bought on Steam and other services. I think it's other services. We will let you play those on our servers. So they're not actually selling games, and so they're not getting money from that. They're just getting money from the subscription, which is like that.
Right. It's the difference between like when you try to play music in public, that you actually have to pay a license to the music, the licensee or the licensor, in order to play music or even play a movie in public for public display. You can play it at home all you want, as long as you have legal ability to do it. But you can't play it for an audience, and that's what kind of the same thing is that
it's like a weird technical things. Like in the chat, AC Wraith says, I thought the whole point was players already bought the game elsewhere.
Yes.
Why the frill should publishers get any money? And it's
Because
not the question of should they get any money. It's the question of NVIDIA is charging something and the publishers want that. It's
Right.
The question of should it doesn't come up. It's you're making money off our games
Somebody
in
playing
some
our games.
subtle way. Yeah, someone's playing our games and you're getting money from that. We want some of that pie.
Right. So
And
there's a
so-
little bit of fight going on, and it may be
Yeah.
that the price of the GeForce Now goes up just to pay licensees to give them either that,
Which
or
would be
so
unfortunate,
many
'cause
people join onto GeForce Now that Bethesda and Blizzard and everybody else. And to be honest, if Activision Blizzard hadn't pulled out, I don't think the other guys would have. Which
Yeah.
you know, another dick move by Activision Blizzard. But I think that if enough people are on GeForce Now, they might change their mind. But they don't have enough of a market share to be able to kind of throw their weight around with these with developers. Because you're right, they're not. These games are already purchased. Somebody owns them. So yeah. So yeah, it's kind of sucks.
Yeah,
but
it's
for right now,
frustrating.
that's what's going on.
Yeah.
So what's your item, Nick?
My game. I didn't even know about this until I was searching Reddit just now. I'm very excited. Unfortunately, it's not out on PS4, which is where I would prefer to play it. But I might have to pick it up for Switch just because it is a sequel to what is quite possibly one of the greatest action games ever made in the history of gaming. One Finger Death Punch 2 is out on Switch and Xbox today, actually. And One Finger Death Punch has one of those old fucking Xbox 360 indie games. Those
I remember
No,
the
game-
name. Yeah.
Yeah, that service where people could publish on Xbox and it was like you could pay $1 for a lot of things. One Finger Death Punch is just like a simple 2-button action game where you're fighting people that come at you from other sides.
And it's on
but
Switch
just
and
the
what else?
Xbox.
Xbox. Okay, anyway.
But the animation is so smooth. The combat is so fast but so simple. The way it kind of mixed things up a bit was just real cool. Like I say in all honesty, it is probably like one of my favorite action games in the history of gaming. Like I think One Finger Death Punch
Wow.
is a goddamn masterpiece of simple game design. Like just proof that like you don't need a big, huge, elaborate thing for an action game. You just need a simple presentation and good controls, and that's it. So yeah, I'm excited for this. I might have to get it on Switch. I would prefer to play it on PlayStation, but yeah, fucking One Finger Death Punch 2 is awesome. And then
I'm assuming you're gonna have to play it on Switch because you don't.
Well-
don't on an Xbox.
yes, I would prefer to play it on PlayStation, but I'd have to wait to see if it gets ported there. And yeah, like my Switch time is mostly just taken up with Ring Fit. So I don't. Although this would be a downloadable game,
Yeah.
so I wouldn't have to switch out the cartridges. But in slightly other news, the games, the free PS Plus games for March have been announced. One of them is very timely. The games are Shadow of the Colossus and Sonic Forces. So it's the HD remake of Shadow of the Colossus,
And that's gonna
which
be
is
free?
just a classic. Yeah, it's gonna be free. It's a classic game. Everyone should play it.
Yep.
One of my favorite games ever. And Sonic Forces just feels like a very smart, timely thing, considering the Sonic movie is doing very, very well.
Yeah.
That this is the time to put out a free Sonic game.
Yes. Yep.
That was PS4, right?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
And in the chat, AC Wraith said that One Finger Death Punch 2 has been on Steam since April. I did not even know that.
Really?
But yeah. Fuck, that game's so good.
Yeah. And he says it's overwhelmingly positive.
Mhm.
So, yeah, I mean, you guys have seen the banner come up a couple of times because I've been trying to write it and adding other banners at the same time. But the age-old argument of
Let's see,
how
Rachel's
to
wrong.
say the type of file that relates to graphical image format.
It's not an argument.
It is not an argument, but yet people say it wrong. But peanut
whiff.
butter,
You fuckers.
but Jif, the peanut butter company, has J.M. Smucker Company has put out a press release that says that Jif is peanut butter, GIF is graphical image format files. They have teamed up with Giphy to release a special jar of Jif peanut butter that replaces the classic Jif branding with the label GIF. This seems to be that the special edition jar should be placed next to the normal jar of Jif, so that you mix them up with GIF and Jif, so that people understand there's a difference. One of them is Jif, the other one is GIF.
The English language.
Goalie, you say it wrong, by the way.
It is way too difficult because I still can't figure out if the S or the C is silent in scent.
The C.
Scent? Oh, yeah.
C.
S-C-E-N-T.
It's scent of a candle.
Oh, that's true. It is.
Is the S or the C silent
Because-
in scent? Okay.
That's true.
I've been
Well, actually,
pondering
you're
this.
right because S-E-N-T and C-E-N-T are spelled they say the same.
We have a conundrum
That's a good
here.
point. Yeah.
We have a kerfuffle. We have a fluffernutter here. We
So
really
the
do.
argument with Jif versus
It's
GIF.
It's fucking
GIF.
GIF. Everyone
Right.
says GIF.
It is GIF. Well, no. Goalie says GIF.
I say GIF because it sounds way better than GIF. I'm gonna send you a really cool GIF.
It is. It's
A
it's
gift?
GIF.
No, not a gift.
And-
A
and
GIF. What
here's-
is a GIF? I'm gonna send you a GIF. And if you send me peanut butter, I'd be perfectly fine with it because Jif peanut butter. Choosy people choose Jif. They really do.
Yeah. But the reason why it's called GIF is because it's short for graphical image format.
And that's fine.
It's G, not the J. It's not a graphical image format. That's why it's not GIF.
I don't
It's
care what
GIF.
it stands for. GIF. Like, that's the word that you look at.
Right. And on top of that, I gotta call you out, goalie.
Again, you always call me out. I'm just tired of getting called out. I want someone else get called out.
Well, since we're
No,
already,
I'm gonna have my cigarette. I'm gonna have my cigarette.
MEME. What does that spell, goalie?
Mimi.
No, when you've got like a little, slightly viral little picture.
I don't know if it's a meme or a meme. I don't know. I
It's
think
a
I call
meme.
it.
It's a meme.
Oh,
I don't remember.
You constantly call it mem, and I was like,
I'm gonna make
my
a
brain starts to dislodge.
I'm gonna make a GIF out of this mem. That's what I'm gonna do.
Oh, oh! So
Jeez.
wrong. It is a meme. You're the only person I've known that calls it a mem. So yeah, officially GIF has weighed in to try to stop people from destroying GIF. And so yeah, there's GIF's GIF.
I will say that is a clever marketing gimmick. Like, to get people talking about fucking peanut butter, that is a clever way to go about it.
Yep.
I hats off to whoever thought that up.
And yeah, Bitters Plus says hard G, please stop arguing. It's true. The more we argue about it, the more that we legitimize the use of the J sound.
No,
in G.
stop. It's not bitters plus. It's bitter.
Bitter.
Is it bitter? Are you bitter?
Plus.
Bitter
Plus.
plus? Bitter?
No, it's beers. The T's are silent. Beers plus.
Biz Plus. All right. Anything else? I've got one more. Oh no! Please don't close out of it. Oh, motherfucker. Man, Mike, I'm just having a terrible time today with freaking closing out the wrong files. Let me pull it back up. Okay, here it is. One thing that is going to be at PAX this year is Borderlands 3. The PAX East, they are going to Gearbox Software. They're going to be at PAX, at least so far we've heard, and they're going to be debuting the next campaign DLC for Borderlands 3. And it is let's see, they're announcing it tomorrow, Thursday, February 27th, from 2:30 to 4 p.m. And do we have a name on it? I have not seen the name of it anywhere, but there is a new expansion DLC that they will be announcing and showing at PAX
That's cool.
tomorrow.
Borderlands was always really good about those.
Well, they know how to service their customers.
Yeah.
Keep them interested, spice it up.
I think the best thing they did for Borderlands 3 is put out free Borderlands 2 DLC.
Yeah. And it really is such a good game. And I only played the main campaign. I didn't play any of the DLC. But I know that if I jump back into it, even though it's been months, I could absolutely play it again and start right up where and their end game, that's the thing about Gearbox, at least in the Borderlands 3 universe, is the end game still has so much playability, because that's when you start opening up the really cool weapons, like the gun that shoots guns. That's awesome. That was great. And essentially, is what our very own piss boy Steve M. Hawk Ortegon used to call Skittles. It's a Skittles gun. You would just point a gun at somebody and just Skittles everywhere. So, Gearbox is going to be at PAX East. Thank you for the link, AC Wraith. And Barbara Zelikman says that she is playing Borderlands 3 right now. And yeah, it's a really, really, I think that the story is good. Not great like Borderlands 2 story was fan-freaking-tastic. But Borderlands 3 story is solid. So.
Cool.
Anyway, let me take that off. We've lost Scully. I guess he either had to go pee or something. Do you have anything else, Nick?
I did just find one story that I thought was really interesting. I just need to wait for it to load. But it has to do with a horror game that was removed from Steam last year. It's from a Taiwanese developer.
Oh yeah.
Called
Like
Red
Purple
Red
Balloon?
Candle.
Oh,
Red
that's
Candle
Candle.
Games.
That's it.
They had previously made a game called Detention that I've played, and it's very, very good. And last year they put out a game called Devotion, which for the week that it was available got very good reviews, and everyone said it was good. But then someone said that there was like a poster that compared the Chinese president to Winnie the Pooh, which is like a really controversial thing in China and something he's really sensitive about, that got the game pulled from Steam. Well, the developer pulled it after it got review bombed, and it has not been up since then. But now it's not back on Steam, but the game was, according to Kotaku, added to the Harvard Yenching Library archives, which makes Harvard University the only place to play a legitimate copy of Devotion.
Mm-hmm.
You could still pirate it, but if you want to play it legitimately, you have to go to Harvard.
Yeah, that's kind of the downside. So it's returning, but it's not exactly returning in limited release. So
it's not returning. It's only available because it's been added to their archives.
Right. Let's see. My last item is the March Games with Gold for the Xbox. And I'm pulling it up right now. Are going to be Batman Enemy Within, the complete season for the Xbox One.
The Telltale one.
Right. Let's see. Then on March 16th, they're going to give out Shantae Half Genie Hero.
That's a
I've
platformer
never-
that
No.
I've. It's a side-scrolling platformer that I've heard good things about.
I
Yeah.
dreamt of playing that genie game, but I mean, aside from that,
You know what? Only people our age are going to get that one, Gully. Batman: The Enemy Within is going to be available March 1st to the 31st. Shantae Half Genie Hero is March 16th to April 15th. Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 is available March 1st to March 15th on Xbox One and the 360. And Sonic Generations is available on March 16th to the 31st on Xbox One and Xbox 360.
is that the same Sonic from PS4? Or is that different?
Which was the one from PS4, Nick?
Sonic Forces.
Yeah, this is Sonic Generations, different Sonic.
Okay, like, same idea, right?
And right now, currently, there's 3 games that are still available on Games with Gold with the February one. So if you want them, jump in now before the end of the month, or else you will lose them, which includes TT Isle of Man, Call of Cthulhu, and Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, I got all of them. The TT racing one I didn't like. Call of Cthulhu I like. The Battlefront is just a classic to play.
Right, yeah. So TT Isle of Man and Star Wars Battlefront leave at the end of the month. And then Call of Cthulhu is going to be around until March 15th. So
That's a fun point. Like I talked about in the beginning of the show. That's a fun little point and click game, walking around simulator, discovering things. It's a very chill game.
Yep.
This is something that AC Wraith just linked to.
Mm-hmm.
Steam is changing their search, or they're updating their search. Basically adding a whole bunch of filters to it. So you can now, this is from the Steam community site, you can now narrow by price. So you can like give a range of like,
nice.
I want it to be exactly this price or this price, and you can choose special, whether to include special offers or not. So, if you want to see just games on sale, you could totally do that. And you can now include and exclude by tag. So
you can
choose
exclude
to,
by tag. Thank God.
Yes.
Oh, that
You can
I
add a
really
search.
need that.
and choose to exclude everything with a certain tag.
Right.
And what's also
RPG they use for fucking everything. And if you're looking for a traditional RPG game and you look up for RPG, you're going to get RPG platforms and RPG shooters and RPG this, and you're just looking for a plain old RPG.
yeah.
You're gonna have a hard time wading through. The search is almost useless. So the fact that I could exclude shooter, I could exclude platformer, that right there just makes my search so much easier.
You can also choose to hide games that you already know, which is something I've run into a lot searching themes. So
Yeah.
you can choose to hide games that you have chosen to ignore. You can choose to hide games that are already in your library and hide games that are already on your wish list. So basically anything that you've already said, I want that or I don't want that, you can choose to not show up. You can also exclude VR only games, which is very,
nice.
very nice.
Yeah.
And then just a real nice, simple, user-friendly feature is infinite scroll. So instead of having to click next page, next page, next page, next page,
Yes.
you just
yes!
keep scrolling down.
Oh, thank God.
So, and you can also do it by language. So you can find games in your language. So all in all, like those are all super friendly, super great.
I like it.
Features.
I like it. Good stuff. I like it.
Yeah, I like all those. Thanks, Wraith.
Okay, so my last item, and it's probably going to be the last item. Crap. Did I just erase that? I did. So, talk amongst yourself. I hate
So, what's the weather out there, Nick?
Oh, well, looking out there, it's pretty sunny. Very sunny, blue skies. I think it'll be pretty warm.
It's very
Okay.
gray.
I
We
think the
got
weather
rain.
is very nice.
We got rain coming tonight.
I finished typing. So
I would say it's California weather.
I will leave. We will leave this episode with the feel good story. You ready?
Okay.
All right. So Nintendo they're in Japan. There is a guy, there's a 70-year-old woman named Kuniko Tsusaka who recently sent a letter to newspaper Ayashi Shimbun and told the story of her then 95-year-old mother who was a lifelong fan of Tetris and had owned 3 Nintendo Game Boys in the last 30 years. And the woman's device, the Game Boy, the most recent Game Boy, started to fail and then eventually broke down. At the same time that the Game Boy stopped working, the 95-year-old mother's health also began to decline. So the whole family started to hunt for a way to fix the Game Boy. But the console, that console was discontinued in 2003. So it's couldn't be replaced, couldn't find pieces, couldn't find a way to fix it. And the new console had changed so much that it was not something that the mother could use. She was 95. She'd been playing on the same thing for 30 years. To give her a new one would have been difficult for her, especially since it was kind of, she was not doing well. So the woman's grandson mentioned the Nintendo customer service. And the phrase for it is called Kami Taitu, which means divine customer service. That's kind of like the highest. When you say that the customer service of something is fantastic, in Japan, it's Kami Taitu, which means divine customer service.
No, we used to have this girl named Connie. We said, Connie Taitu?
So they contacted Nintendo, and within a week, Nintendo had responded to the woman's letter, saying that though that the company couldn't repair the device, it had come across a brand new vintage Game Boy in one of its warehouses and sent it to them.
She's lucky because from what I hear, if you're 95 years old and you lose your Game Boy or you get cancer, you're screwed. Okay, that's what I'm hearing. So I mean, she's shit out of luck, but hey, she got luck. You got lucky here.
What the fuck? That is one of the most fucked up. And this is you I'm talking about. That is one of the most fucked up things I've ever heard you say.
Sorry, we're not going to cure your cancer. We're not going to cure your Game Boy. You're 95. Next.
No, but yeah, Nintendo.
I mean, yeah, once you hit 95, it's like, fuck it, we don't have to do anything for you.
Dude, you've been playing for 30
that is
years.
So not true.
Play something else.
Way
Play
to turn
something else.
a feel-good story into just, oh man.
That's what we do here at the GameHounds.
Way too
We drag
shit
everything
all
down
over.
to our level.
Oh my god.
Play something else. I heard she has a podcast too. She talks about Tetris every single episode for 7,000 episodes.
Come on, get a PlayStation 4.
In Tetris today.
Oh, but that's
Get a
so
Switch.
sweet that Nintendo heard about it and went into the warehouses and found a brand new, unopened, vintage Game Boy.
It is very
2006.
Yeah, I'm sure when I'm 95 and I'm like,
95-year-old who's been playing it for 30
can somebody find me?
years.
Somebody find me an Xbox 360? I'm 95. I just want to play. I want to play some Ghost Recon.
Barbara. Barbara gets it. Sometimes you just gotta lean into the good stuff. It's a good story, and give credit where credit's due. Nintendo, Xbox, you're Microsoft. Sony, you're fucking Sony. Nintendo, you're good people. Nobody's
Sometimes.
ever
just
said
don't
Nintendo
cross their
was
path.
bad.
Don't cross their path. You'll be all set.
Oh yeah, Mario will fuck you up.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
such dicks. You are such dicks.
Are we done? I'm hungry. I gotta go have a.
We're done.
I need to go have a GIF and Gelly sandwich. Is what I'm gonna have.
You suck.
Yeah, you do that.
And I'm gonna even take a picture, make a meme out of it.
Oh. It just hurts every cell in my body when you do that. All right, so I guess that's it. Is there anything else we need to ask? Bitter says I'm laughing and shaking my fist at the same time.
That's what we do.
Yeah.
Wait till you're 95.
So anyway, on that note, is there anything else before we want to close out this show, gentlemen?
I
No.
don't know.
No?
I don't need any more pronunciation lessons.
Good. Yeah, actually, you kind of do. But that's because I don't make fun of the fact that, I mean, I walk away from all of your Bostonian accent. That is absolutely okay. It's when you say things absolutely wrong. That's what I'm going to call you on it. And I like to think that you care.
I don't, Again, you guys taught me the meaning of plethora. It means a lot. It really does.
All right. So, on that note, let's close this out. You have been listening to GameHounds, episode 533. We recorded this on Wednesday, February 26th, 2020. I have been Edie Sellers, and with me has been Holy Goalie and Nick DeNicola. Ways to get a hold of us. GameHounds.net is our website, and GameHounds@gmail.com is our email. We record this show live on audio version of it on Spreaker. That's speaker with an R, Spreaker.com. We do that every Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. Join us next week if you want to listen to us and listen to us live and comment in our Spreaker spec section. Today, we didn't have anybody commenting other than AC Wraith. I know you're out there listening, so thank you very much for listening on Spreaker. If you want to watch us do the show live, we also have a video simulcast. You can see that on Facebook under The Gamehounds on Facebook. You can also see it on YouTube under GameHounds Vids, VIDS, all one word, GameHounds Vids, as in videos. And see us on Wednesdays, 9:30 a.m. Pacific, 12:30 p.m. Eastern. We have our Facebook page, The Gamehounds, and it is lovingly curated by our very own piss boy, Steve M. Hawk Ortegon. And we also have every single link about everything we mentioned, no matter how obscure, in Spreaker, Facebook, and YouTube, done by our very own link bitch, AC Ray. Thank you so much for doing that. And let's see, the final thing, one other thing. Oh, if you listen to us after the fact, you want to download us, you can do it on Spreaker. You can do it on iHeartRadio. You can do it on iTunes. You can do it on Apple Podcasts. You can also actually listen to us on Sonos and Alexa devices. Just tell it to play Spreaker, to load Spreaker and play GameHounds. Thank you, Nick, for being on the show. Goalie, whatever, Dick. You're such an asshole. We will talk to you all next week. Bye.
Connie Taitu.
I don't get that.
It's Mexican or something. I don't know.
Oh my God,
Chinese?
Goalie.
Taiwanese?
You mean Spanish?
Connie Taitu.
Oh no, that's divine customer service.
That's what I was trying to say.
Oh yeah.
Anything else we want to talk about before we're still on YouTube, by the way. Hi, all of our 8 listeners. Or 8 watchers.
No, just if you guys got any more ideas for that other show, let me know. Stay safe from this friggin' virus. This is no joke. It's
Wash your hands, bitches. Wash your fucking hands.
I would like to
dirty
think
sons
that
of bitches.
I'd like to think that we're better equipped to handle it over here than some of the other countries, but it's bad still.
We are. Our CDC has kind of been defunded by the current I would call it a regime. Actually, I would call it a regime, but I'm trying to stay apolitical on this.
They're all regimes.
Our current administration has defunded a lot of the CDC, so they're not as equipped as they could be, but they're doing their best. They're actually already preparing, and they're kind of mentioning the whole disaster now before it becomes a disaster, which puts people in the mind for it, and that's actually really helpful.
They're already talking about maybe school closings and things like that,
Right.
and just
right. So yeah, if you want to find out more information, and I highly recommend that you get yourself educated, not through your social fucking media. Your social media is not science and it's not news. Your social media is not science or news. Go to cdc.gov. cdc.gov has actual real information. No, it's not sexy and it doesn't have little videos in it, but it's the right information. CDC.gov.
Yeah, no, that'd be a good idea. Yep.
And chicken soup. Because chicken soup's awesome. Right? Right, Bitters?
Just endless
Bitters?
chicken soup.
Chicken soup, always good.
No, you get the truth. You get the truth at my page.
Gully is absolute proof why you should go to legitimate news
Stop,
and
stop.
not get your news from
I
social
only
media.
share the
That
real
guy
news.
right there. No. This is what's wrong with the way
No,
we get news
no.
these days. Right
Hey,
there.
you want to hear a funny story?
Yeah.
Real quick before we sign.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you see this black spot behind me, or this area here?
All right.
And this happened once during the show here too. This is true. I was chatting with my wife's cousin. She's up in Maine, and we were just chatting. She's my age, and we were like just talking about our ailments. And this is her grandfather's house that we live in. And you see that thing that floated by me here? It's like dust or something.
Mm-hmm.
We were talking, and it was night, and it was really dark down here. And she says, "Have my grandparents visited you yet?" And when she said that, behind me, this orb went right behind me, right when she said it, and it scared the piss out of me. I was like, and she goes, "Did you see that?" I just went, and it happened again while we were talking, and then something flew by a little closer, and you could see the wings, so it was some kind of a moth or a bug in here, but it was just this orb went by me, so it must have been just the light hit it just right.
Oh, it was a bug. It was a bug that the light hit.
Yeah, but it was just like right when she said it. So, have you seen my grandparents at all in that house? And then that thing happened. We both went, oh my gosh. She's like, my grandparents are good. My grandparents are good. They like you. They like you. My grandparents are good. It's like, yeah, I hope so. That was freaky. That was freaky. That might end up in an episode of Grandpa.
Yeah. All right. So yes. By the way, since
so
there are still
tight.
7 people, there are 7 people on this in this chat room. So I have a question for you. See, for 3 people, Gully and I are having an argument about layout and the way that the layout should be. For 3
this is bad.
people, huh?
It's bad.
You don't like this for 3 people, but for 2
No.
people, it works. For 3
okay,
people, I
yeah.
think it needs to be in the wide angle layout. But for 2
Yes.
people, like let me, for example, take Goalie out of the stream. All right. Goalie can still, I think, see it. For 2 people, that's not bad.
No,
It's actually better. I think it's better.
they need to back up a little bit.
No, you're fine. But yeah, if you, I would love to have your opinions in the chat room. Let me add Goalie back in. I would like to have your opinion. I think this is uncomfortable looking. I think this looks better.
That scooted up. It looks too much like a fucking CNN bunch of talking heads arguing with each other.
You say that like it's a bad thing. I
It
would
is a
love to
bad
be
thing.
CNN.
No, you don't.
Yes, that's
Not-
called
not the-
professional. It's
not
called
the-
professional.
Hey,
Not
put
the,
it back
like,
to put it back to the 3 for a second.
not the video like debate thing. That stuff
Oh,
is
you
just
mean-
chaotic bullshit.
That
You know, if you
This-
ask me and you're 95 and you get the virus, you should not be getting Game Boys. That's just my opinion here.
People
What do you
should
guys
not
think?
be living to
No,
95
no. Can I
in the
speak?
first place.
Can I speak?
We
Can I
should be
speak?
killing and
Can I
eating
speak?
them
Hello,
at 80.
hello. Can I speak, please? Can I speak?
No, you have.
I have something to say.
Let me
I have
talk.
something to say.
No,
I have
it's
something
my
to say.
turn Talk.
No one ever
Why am I
listens to
the
me.
only one
No,
stopping?
I'm tired of
No.
listening to you. I want to talk about it.
This is, fine. Talk. Say your bullshit.
I don't want to talk now.
I don't want to be here. Fuck this.
Go back to the other view. I can't take this anymore. I can't take this. Oh, oh, we got to use that in a promo somehow.
Oh, that was awesome.
Oh.
And you said you can't act.
Yeah, right. Now, where was that last week? Oh.
Oh, my sides. Oh, wow. I haven't laughed like that in a really, really long time.
Oh, that was a good one. That was fun. That was a good time.
Yeah.
Don't ever put that back. Don't ever put that through.
That was a YouTube Facebook bonus for all of you.
That was. I have such a gift headache right now. Oh, I need an Anderson.
Oh my god. I'm a little dizzy from laughing like that.
Yeah.
All right. Oh god, I am dizzy. All right, I should go before I stroke out here. I'm laughing so hard. Nick, Goalie, thank you so much for that. And it looks like, all right. So Bitter says it's good. So Barbara says it's good for 2 people. I like it the way it always is, but that is good for 2 people. Yeah. I'd move the logo to a lower corner for that view. See, I can't move the logo.
Yeah, logo's stuck there.
The thin strip view isn't bad, AC Ray says. So he says this one, thin strip view, is not bad.
Yeah.
It certainly makes
not
for
natural.
great comedy.
It feels
Yeah.
cramped.
Feels like we're all late in the same bed. Like, hurry up, go to sleep.
Here's why I like it is it makes it seem like we're actually talking to each other. Whereas this looks a little bit like we're just a little too remote from each other.
There's a roominess to that one. This one feels very tight. Like this one, I feel like I need to get back a lot.
This one makes
'Cause
my
if
ass
it's-
look big.
If it's just the face, that feels way too close.
I don't know. I think that it makes
Yeah. Good. That's good. Yeah. Just like that.
I can get my whole middle finger in that view. Look at that.
That's what she
There we go.
Yeah.
All right. So, well, in other words, the jury is still out. Oh, Barbara says we look like sardines. But
about that?
Bitter,
How's that?
Bitter
Is
says
that
tight
better?
is good.
Is tight good? How's this? Does this work?
Don't do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that this looks like more personal.
goalie,
like
other
we're
side.
actually, yeah. Oh, other side goalie. Let's see if we can make a half goalie, half Nick.
Oh my gosh, really?
You can move in, goalie. Nope. Nick, stay where you are. Move in, goalie. There you go. Move in. Now move to the left. There we go. And that is creepy. It's goalie move that way a little bit more. There we go.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
That's.
All right, now we have completely become total idiots. But
I know.
like
I
it
gotta
because
eat
it
lunch and
looks
walk
like
the
we're actually
dog.
talking to each other.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this looks very amateurish. It really
I
does.
think the opposite. I think
Yeah.
this
No,
looks
I like the other
actually
one. Like
really
the other
good.
one, you can
This
show
is-
stuff and.
Again, I think this is fine for 2 people, but it gets too cramped with 3.
Okay. All right. Yeah, Bitter says, I can see your facial detail. Yeah, you actually know what I look like now because in that wide view, you can't even really see my face. To see my glorious skin. All right. So, Nick Gully, we will talk to you next week. And yeah.
Send over some ideas for the show.
Yes, I will. All right.
And we'll get together on that. But yeah, aside from that, yeah, that's all the hubbub.
Everybody in the chat room, all 10 people. I hope you were there for Nick's golden moment. Funniest thing he's ever done on the show.
We need to get that like that 30 or 40 seconds. And that was comical.
Oh,
That
I
was-
will. I'll pull that down and,
If-
and cut
you-
that up for you.
that'll
And
be
we'll
like-
send it to you so you can play it over.
Just
and
put it
over
like
and
on on Twitter or something like that. What are you missing? If you're not watching the GameHounds, this is what you're missing. Oh, and we talk games.
Oh, anyway.
Yeah.
All right. Talk to y'all later. Bye, everyone.